So it gives me much pleasure to welcome you to this particular farewell party for our current Director General. Why are we giving him this kind of befitting kind of farewell? Because he's actually been able to give us the direction. We remember there's a time that we had the commission, that is the Monopolies and Price Control Commission, and it changed its name to Competition Authority of Kenya. The DG became the acting DG then he became the DG. We have seen growth. Currently, we are on our third strategic plan, and we are looking forward to ensuring that we still continue with what he's actually been able to lay down as some of the issues that he's actually been able to do.
I'm glad and feel proud that today we are a paperless authority. I'm now an ICT expert, as you can see me here. At my age, I don't struggle with carrying physical documents around the offices. During his leadership, he laid the foundation of CAK on which all of us are building on.
Through the 8 years I've been in the authority, I would say the starting point was to give, I remember then we entered the authority, more than 20 of us. A group of people who knew nothing about competition law, a group of people who knew nothing about government operations, a group of people who knew nothing about public administration. And within that group, I stand here today as a testimony of people who have learned to do public administration, people today who sit in the high table and discuss competition matters, not only for Kenya, but for Africa and the continent at large. These are people today who are sitting down in a table and telling you about new emerging markets, they're telling you about non-price markets, they're telling you about digital economy, things that none of us knew about. And for all of us, we are indebted to one Mr. Kariuki for that. It's through his leadership that we have been able to acquire those skills. We have been able to not only acquire the skills, but learn how to apply them.
Abuse of buyer power is no longer this new kid on the block, this new area of enforcement. Indeed, it is now a maturing area of enforcement. We started off with 4 cases. As I speak, we have run through 257 cases, right? Having found 4, that's the math we have. We have completed 158. 257 have run through our system. 158 have been concluded. From 0 to 158, that's the speed. And in the process, we have recovered, especially delayed payments for SMEs, mainly to confirm what Mercy has said. And we have given remedies, where remedies were merited. We did not enforce the law with the end in sight, where the idea is to give a remedy. No, if you did not merit a remedy, we did not give it to you. But to cut a long story short, regarding the remedies, we have recovered about 2.5 billion shillings in delayed payments. Now, you know that SMEs struggle with liquidity, and the biggest cause of liquidity crunches for SMEs is their weaker bargaining position. And so to that extent, I can say we have been useful. And so thank you very much, DG, for the opportunity and the lessons, and cheers to many more years of public service.
I was in the very first board that started CAK under David and DG. Like most of you have said, I knew very little about competition law. In fact, I read about competition law when I was making the application. And because I knew I was going through vetting in Parliament, through Musikari Combo, I had to really study that stuff. And thank God, we did quite a bit. In HR, we recruited Liz Ntonjira. And because nobody knew so much about us, we thought we had really hit it on. Liz had come, I think, from Nation, one of the biggest media houses, and all of us were crying about visibility. And we thought Liz was going to connect us to the rest of the world. Unfortunately, I think she worked only for 2 or 3 months, and then she went away. 1 year. Oh, to us, I think it was a few months. Washiri is the one who did 9 months. So we kept on recruiting people, and quite a number of them were also leaving us. And it was quite difficult for us because we wanted to take the toddler steps a little faster so that at least we could achieve a lot.
I can't see Njagi here. Is Njagi still with us? Oh, he left. It's very interesting because we're just watching him over there, and he looks like a policeman in Vioja Mahakamani. You know the way he talks. So I got to meet all of you, and it was fantastic. But more importantly, it was an honor to work with the DG. The one thing I took away is he's a very active father. I noticed none of you talked about his family, but Wang'ombe is a very active father. And every time we'd be talking, Wang'ombe is either running to Kabarak to drop his son or coming from Kabarak from having taken his son from school. He was very involved in both his sons' lives, Kariuki and Mwangi. I've worked with many men, and I say this with all due respect. If there's one person who will not have a problem with boy child, it's the DG. My honor. It was an honor to work with you. Thank you.
Now my pleasure to hand over the appointment letter to Dr. Wario so that the handing over is officially completed.
And the time has come now to hand over the authority to Adano Wario.
Thank you, Chair of the Board, Ambassador Ndirangu. I recognize the presence of the present board members and the past board members, our invited partners, Tamara and Tanya, and my colleagues. Good evening. I'm happy to be here with you, and thank you for coming, all of you. And I'm pleased to be given this responsibility today. And I take the responsibility of leading our team to the next level. I'm sure we have all heard the truth about the leadership of DG Wang'ombe Kariuki. And I'm sure you all know his leadership style and how far he has taken us, how much we have learned from him. And I think the challenge is ahead of us, and together we can build the authority moving forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And let me first thank all of you for not just the kind words you have given me, but also for attending this occasion. Obviously, we could have invited you and you refused to come, but at least all of you have come, and the words you have given me, and the words you have shared, and the kind of advice you have shared with me. But my dear colleagues, the time has come to say goodbye. I'm bound by law to leave you, and we should respect the law. And also it's the time for the purple pen to retire. The most comforting reality is that I'm debarking from a vessel that is steady. MVCAK has been built by the best from the best. It is equipped with the best crew, that is your people, and also with the best navigational equipment, that is the Competition Act, the accompanying legislation, and the strategic plan to guide you into the rough waters.